6 months from now, you could be living a completely different life or still stuck in the exact same place you're standing now. The question is, which one will you choose? I once met a man in his early 30s. Living in New York, he had a stable job, decent income, but every night, he would sit in front of the TV, quietly watching the clock strike 2 a.m. He didn't know why he felt empty. He just knew one thing. This life wasn't what he had dreamed of. Then one day, he decided to change. Not with a dramatic transformation, but with tiny changes repeated every single day. And 6 months later, he wasn't that same man anymore. You could be that person too. You don't need to wait until New Year's Day. You don't need 100 plans. You just need to recognize what you've been wasting. You just need to learn how to refocus on yourself. And you only need to make one promise to yourself. This will be the 6 months that change my life. In this video, I'll share with you how to stop wasting time unconsciously, how to change your life in just 6 months using 3 simple systems, and how to focus on yourself so no one else can pull you off your path again. The journey begins right now. 1. Stop living on autopilot. Recognize the patterns that keep you stuck. Stop living like a machine. Recognize the loops that are holding you back. 6 months from now, you could be completely different or still stuck exactly where you are now. The deciding factor isn't luck, it's how you're living each day. Be honest with yourself. Are you living by choice or just reacting to life? I once spoke with a woman in her early 40s. She was an office worker, had a family, had kids. One afternoon, while waiting at a red light, she suddenly thought, "What am I really living for?" Nothing bad had happened. She was still doing well at work, still loved her family. But she felt a quiet emptiness because every day felt exactly the same. That's autopilot mode. According to a Harvard study, up to 47% of our waking hours, we're thinking about something other than what we're doing. That means nearly half of your life, you're not really present in your own existence. Autopilot doesn't come from laziness. It comes from burnout, from living too long inside loops you no longer control, from letting social media, emails, messages, deadlines pull you instead of you leading yourself. If you're looking for how to change your life in 6 months, start with this simple but powerful step. Where am I wasting time without even realizing it? Write it down clearly, honestly. This is how you face your reality instead of avoiding it. Little lesson. You can't change your life if you keep pretending everything's fine. Awareness is the beginning of every personal revolution. Are you living on autopilot right now? Share one thing you want to change in the comments below. Now that you've started waking up from the old loops, let's move into the next part, where I'll show you how to rebuild your entire life system. So in just 6 months, you might not even recognize the old version of you. 2. Create a 6-month personal revolution. The rule of 3 systems. Creating a personal revolution in 6 months. Using 3 simple systems. Now that you've awakened from autopilot mode, the next question is, what do you do to change? You've probably heard a lot about motivation, but in reality, motivation is like a backup battery. Sometimes it's full, sometimes it's drained. What truly changes your life is a system. Imagine life as a tree. If you want green leaves and sweet fruit, you must care for the roots. And in the journey of changing your life, those roots are your 3 foundational systems. 1. Mind system. 2. Habit system. 3. Environment system. 1. Mind system. Mindset is the starting point. If you believe you can't change, then even 6 years won't be enough, let alone 6 months. I once met a 28-year-old guy working a desk job. He always said, "I'm just not a disciplined person." Until one day, he heard a sentence that changed his perspective. Discipline is not a personality trait. It's a skill, and skills can be trained. From that day on, every morning, he wrote down one line. "I am a disciplined person. I act according to commitment, not emotions." 6 months later, he lost 15 pounds, completed a skill course, and quit his job to start his own business. 2. Habit system. According to a study by Duke University, about 45% of your daily behavior is unconscious habit. That means, if you change your habits, you change nearly half your life. You don't need big leaps. You need a system of small actions repeated daily. 10 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of light exercise, 5 minutes to write down what you're grateful for. Don't ask, do I have enough motivation? Ask instead, does my schedule today have space for the right habits? 3. Environment system. Who you are is largely shaped by where you live and what surrounds you. If your phone is next to your pillow, you'll scroll TikTok before bed. If a notebook is placed on your desk, you'll write more than you think. If you spend a lot of time with people who procrastinate, you'll start to think procrastination is normal too. Want to change yourself? Change your environment first. Simply put, make it easier for the good things to happen. Little lesson: you don't need iron willpower to change yourself. You need a smart system to guide you in the right direction. Even when you're tired, which of the 3 systems above do you feel is holding you back the most? Leave a comment, because only when you name your bottleneck can you begin to release it. In the next part, I'll share with you a crucial skill that helps you stay on course, stay focused in a world that's constantly screaming for your attention. 3. Focus on yourself. The art of saying no and building inner strength. We live in an age where distraction is normal. Every notification sound, every message, every invitation, every request. The world constantly pulls you outward, but real life begins from within. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, the average American receives over 60 small requests per day. From work, friends, social media, and nameless notifications. It's not that you don't have time, you're just giving it away unconsciously. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish. It's the first step to recover, to reset, and to grow. Like coming home after a long, exhausting day. You need to return to your inner space to know who you are and what you want. I once heard the story of a woman named Michelle who lived in Oregon. She was a too kind person, always ready to help, always saying yes to every request from coworkers, neighbors, even old Facebook friends. She once believed that giving was the way to be loved, until one day, when her work schedule was packed and her favors for others were packed too. She broke down in the middle of the afternoon. Sitting alone in her car, she realized she had said yes to the whole world and no to herself. From that day on, Michelle started practicing saying no. At first, they were polite rejections, then came clear boundaries, and finally, intentional choices. I'm not going to do that because I need time to take care of myself. 6 months later, she wasn't just more at peace. She had become stronger. For the first time in her life, she lived for herself and didn't feel guilty about it. If you want to know how to change your life in 6 months, this is one of the most crucial skills, knowing when to say no and having the courage to choose yourself. Little lesson: focusing on yourself doesn't mean cutting others off. It means setting clear boundaries so that what truly matters has space to grow. No one else is responsible for protecting your time, energy, or peace of mind but you. When was the last time you said no? Was it a difficult decision or a moment of liberation? Share your honest thoughts in the comments. You never know. Your story might be the start of someone else's breakthrough. And now, as you begin to master yourself, knowing when to say no to what doesn't serve you anymore, it's time to say yes to what matters most: time. In the next part, I'll show you how to stop wasting time and replace it with actions that reshape not just your habits, but your identity and your entire life. 4. Replace time-wasting habits with identity-building actions. Have you ever felt this way? You sit down intending to do something useful, read a book, learn a skill, or write out a life plan, but then you pick up your phone, one video, one notification, One tap, and suddenly, 2 hours are gone. Don't blame yourself too much. You're not lazy. You're just stuck in an ecosystem designed to steal your time. According to a report from Statista, the average American spends over 2 hours and 27 minutes a day on social media. That adds up to more than 900 hours a year, the equivalent of 22 full-time work weeks. We don't realize time is slipping away because it gets broken into tiny, invisible pieces. One quick email here, a scroll on TikTok there, another unnecessary conversation, but when added up, it's enough to build an entirely different life. I once spoke with a guy named Ben, 35 years old, working in software engineering. Ben always felt busy, yet also felt like he wasn't going anywhere until one day he did something very simple. He tracked everything he did for 1 week, and he was shocked. He realized he was spending over 16 hours a week just killing time on things that didn't move him any closer to his dreams. From that moment, Ben made a promise. Every time he cut 30 minutes of scrolling, he would replace it with 30 minutes of identity-building actions, such as writing down who he wanted to become, learning one small advanced programming skill, sending one proactive email to connect with someone, meditating for 10 minutes to reconnect inward. 6 months later, he had mastered 2 new tools and launched a personal podcast sharing his journey of digital minimalism. Little lesson: you don't need more time. You just need to change how you use the time you already have. Time always moves, but you can choose where it moves toward the person you want to become or toward the unknown. If you could replace just one time-wasting habit in your day, what would you choose to replace it with? Answer that question and make a commitment to yourself starting today. In the next part, I'll share with you a simple but powerful tool that helps you not only manage time, but also redesign your entire life, one day at a time, because days build weeks, and weeks build life. It's time for you to learn how to design your ideal day. 5. Design your ideal day, because days build weeks, and weeks build life. If you want to know how to change your life in 6 months, don't start with a year or a month. Not even a week. Start with one day, just one day, because life doesn't change in big moments. It changes in how you live each small day. I once asked a friend, "What does your ideal day look like?" He was silent for a while. Then he said, "I've never really thought about it. I just get through the day, task by task. Then it's over." And that's how many of us live. We rush through the day instead of living inside it. You can't control everything, but you can design your structure so good things have a place to grow. According to Harvard Business Review, people who plan their day before starting work are 25% more productive than those who don't. Just a few minutes of preparation can lead to hours of impact. Here's a sample of a minimal ideal day that many have tried. Maybe you'll want to try it too. Morning, before 9 a.m. Don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes. 10 minutes of quiet, meditate, journal, or breathe deeply. One action that gives you a sense of control, like light exercise, reading 2 pages, or writing down 3 priorities for the day. Midday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 1-2 hours of deep work. Uninterrupted. Break your time into chunks and insert recovery. Pauses. Eat lunch without any screens. Just eat and enjoy. Evening, after 6 p.m., dim your screen brightness. Turn off notifications at least 1 hour before bed. Write one line. What am I proud of today? Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You don't have to do it all. Just choose 2 to 3 habits that fit and repeat them every day. I once heard someone say, "I didn't change my life with one big leap. I changed it by repeating one good day over and over." Little lesson: an ideal day doesn't mean a perfect day. It's a day where you live according to your values, even if just for 10 minutes. Because those small, meaningful moments are the ones that truly last. If you could add one habit to your tomorrow, what would you choose? Share it with others. Your small start might be the spark someone else needs. If you've made it this far, I believe you're not just looking to change. You're truly ready, ready to live differently, ready to not repeat the last 6 months, ready to choose yourself once and for all. We've walked through 5 parts together, like 5 puzzle pieces forming a full journey. 1. You learned how to wake up from unconscious loops, to stop living like a machine. 2. You built 3 root systems: mindset, habits, and environment, to form a solid foundation. 3. You learned how to say no and focus on yourself, building strength from within. 4. You began replacing wasted time with meaningful actions, minute by minute, hour by hour. 5. You designed your ideal day, because each day will shape the story of your life. Remember this: you don't need a perfect plan, you just need an honest start. You don't have to be strong today, you just need to stay long enough not to quit tomorrow. 6 months can pass by quickly, or 6 months can build an entirely new you from the inside out. And now, it's your turn. Share one thing you're going to start changing today. Just one thing. Write it in the comments, send it to your future self, and who knows, 6 months from now, you might return here to tell us about the journey you've been through. If you believe this video could wake someone else up, share it. If you want to walk this 6-month journey together, hit subscribe. And if you'd like a gentle reminder each week, turn on the bell. I'll be here. You can start over. No need to wait for a new year. No need to wait for anyone's permission. You just have to choose. And if you've chosen, then today is the first day of your new life.